Hey guys, and welcome to Dan-gler Sea Fishing. Today I'm fishing a comp again. They do come around quite quickly at the moment because when we come into the summer we do fish 2 a month, so we are a bit busy. We should be fishing a day comp today, but because, as you can see, the weather is glorious, we thought that the beach that was chosen and the time was going to mean that it was going to be really busy and make it difficult for fishing. So the venue was moved to Alum Bay and it's now an evening comp. So let's get fishing.
Daddy's going fishing.
Got a new rod and I got some new line. Got a boat, it's just about time to head on out to my favorite spot. It's just about fishing time. Be by, Vicky by, Vicky by, Bo, Vicky by, Vicky by, Vicky boo.
So guys, as I said, today is a comp night, so we will be match fishing again. I'm doing all right at the moment. With our last video, that's managed to move me back up into second, just a few points off the top. So tonight we'll be looking to try and get that one bit better and get ourselves back up to number 1. So the venue tonight is Alum Bay. It is a bit of a mixed venue. I was quite late out the draw, but we've managed to get into an area that was a sort of where I was intending. It's a bit mixed ground out here. I've got some sand and then I've got some rocks. So it gives me a good chance at aiming for those 5 species. But as always, we take any fish we can get started. So tactics are going to be the same usual match fishing tactics. I'm going to be starting with 2 hook clip downs as my my tackle of choice, but I am going to do things a little bit different tonight. So one of the things I'm going to be doing a little bit different tonight is I'm going to be using feeder baits to try and get the day fishing part of this comp to get going a bit quicker. So I've got these breakaway feeder leads. I've mixed up a ground bait to go into my leads, and I'm going to be starting with those to try and get the area out in front of me fed up with lots of fish. So the 2 rigs I'm starting with a 2 hook clip down with size 4 and a little set of beads on the back. Reason I'm doing that target fish tonight is flatfish. Well, a fish that is flat, so that includes rays as well as turbot, sole, plaice, anything that's flat. That doesn't include basses that have been run over martin. So yeah, so my setup is the 2 hook clip down with size 4 on 1. Then I'm going to use a 2 hook clip down, one with a float, with some floating beads on it, mainly because I want to get it up in the water, see if there's any bream, see if there's any pollock. We're going to try a number of different tactics today, see if we can get some fish. But as usual, I'm going to start the night by using my 2 hook clip downs. I'm going to vary it in hook size and I'm going to vary it in bait choice. Anyway, now that we've discussed it, let's have a look at our bait. So for tonight, I've got some freshly dug lug that I went and dug on a beach. I've got some squid, I've got anchovy, I've got some ragworm, I've got some sand eels, and I've got some live peelers, some of which I went and bought and some of which I went and collected. So for those that have watched my video when I fished down here last, you will know that this is one of my favourite spots on the island. It doesn't mean that it is the best that fishing that I have. I have had some really good nights down here, but it can be a bit hit and miss. But it is just a fabulous place on the island to fish. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me show you around. So also for those that watched my last video, you will note that I ended up transferring over to braid due to the fact that I was having trouble with spider crabs. Now I am expecting that could be an issue here tonight. So I am going to start with the braid because I think having that instant bite detection and that more recognition on whether we've got a spider crab on there is going to give me a better idea on whether my baits are being bothered. It should hopefully help me a little bit more with the snags as well. But It's mainly that bite detection and that recognition of when we've got a spider crab playing around with our bait that I want. So let's have a look at the setup I've got today. So I've got my pair of Xenon C6 low diameters, and I've got them paired up with my usual slosh 20s with the braid on. Reason I've gone for these rods is they do have a beautiful bite detection on them, especially being a spliced glass tip in the top, and they do have a nice action, and they're a bit shorter as well. I did think about bringing my 15-foot rods, but I was a bit worried that I might end up in a spot that was a bit tighter. So I wanted a little bit more room, just so that I've got some room. And I wanted that bite detection because where we are match fishing. You want to see them as quick as possible. You don't want to leave fish out there because that's time wasted. So there we are, my feeder baits on the bottom, and then there's my mix all made up with breadcrumbs. It's got sand eel in there, it's got mackerel in there, it's got squid, and it's got mussels, and that's all going to go inside these to ground bait my area. And there we are, there's the lug that I dug. Nice blow lug. Just going to whip the tails off and then send them out. Well, there we are, baits are in the water. Now I want to get my next one set up because this is going to be quite a quick turnaround on these, especially these worm baits, and we want to try and get lots out there fairly quickly. In terms of distance, neither of these are a long way out. They are very close in. I'm using small hooks. I'm trying to hit the wrasse first. So with the feeders, I'm not looking for it to have an instant impact, but I'm just looking to get lots of scent and flavour in the water at the moment. So we're just trying to get some flavour out there, see if we can entice some fish to come along and have a bite. Go on. Well, we've got a little fish, but I don't think he's going to be big enough. So we got a little ballan wrasse to start, only a tiny little one. He barely makes 18 centimetres, so even if he was a cork-quin, he's too little, this one. Anyway, let's get this back and see if we can find another one. I was getting a bite on the other one as well there. Doesn't seem to have amounted to anything, so I'll leave it out there a bit longer. That one is on a plain lead. I brought in the feeder one on that one, and then just plopped it out in the same location, but that's just on a plain lead. And I'm just alternating with the feeder ones when I've got them there, just to get all that scent out in the water at the moment. Oh, that was a better bite. That looked a better bite. Leave that one where it is. Maybe it would go again. Just have to keep an eye on it. Still getting them small bites on this left one. I think if it goes again, I'll bring it in. Never know, it might have hooked itself, but sometimes even just one fish on there attracts the attention of others. Wrasse are very territorial, they're very aggressive, so sometimes the movement of another one, they're inquisitive as well, so it will draw in other wrasse. All right, I'm going to bring this one in and have a look, see what's going on. Well guys, Martin, who's fishing next to me, has just managed to weigh in. He was the first one down this end to weigh in. He had a Ballon wrasse of 13 ounces and a half. And that gets him on the board. So that does show there is some bigger ones out there, and hopefully we can have him next. Well, we're still getting bites, but we're struggling to hook up with them. They are little bites on little hooks, so I think it's just small wrasse and stuff picking around them. But that is what we're trying to aim for. We're using worm baits. We've just got to hope that a slightly bigger one comes along. So our sunlight is starting to fade, so we are going to start changing tactics soon. We're still going to keep 1-2 hook, but I'm going to upsize to 1/0s. I will keep a small one for later for a bit of scratching, maybe a pout, something along them lines. But our chances of the rash are diminishing, so we're now going to drop down on those sizes. But then we're going to upsize on the pennels and the size of our baits. So I'm just getting ready for my 2-hook clip down. First bait I'm going to send out on that is a sand eel and squid wrap. So I've just popped the sand eel up my baiting tool, and then I've just popped the squid over the top, and I'll whip that all together. So the next bait I'm going to put out is half an anchovy. So I've just chopped it in the middle. I'm just going to whip that nice and tight, and then that's going to get ready as a bait on one of my rigs hanging on the stands. Just going to spin you around in a sec to treat you to what looks like it should be a beautiful sunset. It will make the fish bite on the rod, and I'll be able to bring you back to a fish. Well guys, we're just coming up for 9 o'clock, so we are halfway through, and yeah, apart from that little wrasse we had right at the beginning, it has been pretty slow. No other way of sugarcoating that. But we are coming into the darker hours, so now we can start getting on. I'm now moving on to my bigger baits. We're going to get them bigger baits out there now, and see if we can find a better fish, or a fish, any fish to weigh in. I'm in a right mess here, mate.
That's a bit of a nightmare there, didn't you?
I'm in a tangle here.
That tide's pulling now, isn't it?
Yeah. How am I even gonna get? I don't even know what to do here. He's too small anyway.
Is he?
Yeah.
You've got it now, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Well done.
Well guys, what can I say apart from the last half an hour has been an absolute nightmare. I caught an eel, a small one. It came in, it managed to tie both my lines together, completely knot it all, trash all the rigs, the whole lot. It was an absolute nightmare and I've been trying to sort it out and get myself back up together, and I think I'm finally there. Anyway, I'm just going to prep my next bait. So I've got some lovely sand eels here. So I'm just taking the heads and tails off. Then what I like to do is just thread them onto my baiting tool. Like so. Then I'm just going to whip them together. So I like to whip them together like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a bit of squid up the body there and whip all of that round just to hold all these guts and everything inside. So because I want this one to still be very fishy, as you can see, I've still got the sand eel sticking out the top there, and I've just wrapped the squid up the middle part of the body and just popped the hook through it. So that makes a nice fishy squiddy bait ready to go out next. Well guys, this has proven to be a bit of a tough one for me so far. Still got an hour and a half left, but yeah, a little bit awkward this one. It's had its share of problems. It's been a little bit slow on the uptake, but you know, there's still plenty of time. Just got to look for that bigger fish or a dogfish or something. Got quite large baits out there now, so. Oh guys, it's just not happening at the moment. It is, it's been really hard work. Just don't seem to be able to entice anything particularly at the moment. I've got just 2 sand eels strapped together, absolutely whipped up, very thin streamlined bait that I'm going to send out next. Might be able to grab me a dogfish or an eel that could be in size, but we don't know. But I don't really seem to be getting the bites either, so it's proven to be a difficult one, this. I thought being here with a few features around me might be all right, but it doesn't seem to be moving on. Well guys, it's the third species of the night, but again, this is way too small and he won't be able to weigh in. So although that's a nice size for bait, he's going back because I don't need him tonight. Anyway, let's get this guy back, see if we can find a bigger one. Well guys, not much to say apart from half an hour left to try and get a fish to get on the board. Otherwise we are sliding right down the table again. But that is match fishing. It's a long season, so we won't beat ourselves up too much if we don't manage to weigh in today, but it would be nice. Seems like quite a lot of people up and down the beach have been weighing in, so it seems to be like the venue is producing pretty well. It's just tonight's not been my night. But it's not over yet. It's been out there for at least half an hour. Go on. Oh, we've got a fish on here, guys. What is it? Oh, it's a small bloody eel again. Oh, smaller than the first one. Well guys, I'm going to get this one straight back out, but as you can see, another small eel. Martin, there's sand eels all over the beach. Well guys, look. Live sand eels washing up on the beach. They just come in with the tide. As you can see them wriggling around. Cute little things. I'm going to get them back anyway, they're too little to keep for bait. Ooh. Yes, we've got a dogfish. Oh, live sand eels. You absolutely beauty. Yes, right at the end, managed to pick up a dogfish on those little live sand eels. I literally just had them hanging off. So those little sand eels were washing up all over the beach, so I literally just hooked one ever so loosely like that and managed to find myself a dogfish with about a minute and a half to spare. Although that you know, it's not going to bump me right at the leaderboard, but it does mean I can weigh in, which is fantastic. Oh, I'm so chuffed. Well guys, and that's the comp over. Talk about leaving it until the last moment to get a fish to weigh in. As I said, it's not going to put me high up on the board, but it does mean I'm on the board, which means that it does save quite a lot of lost points by at least weighing in. So hopefully that doesn't mean too much damage has been done, but goes to show sometimes you just got to look around, finding those little sand eels and just sending. I just literally lightly hooked them onto the end of a hook and it managed to produce me that dogfish, which has got me on the board. Well, congratulations to all the people that managed to weigh in tonight. Should be putting up the scores now, and well done and great effort. It's been a really nice night. It's been fairly warm down here, and yeah, the fishing's been fairly consistent. It's been some really nice fish caught. Martin had a lovely three-beard rockling at the end there, and yeah, it's been a good night. Anyway, if you are enjoying my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until the next one, I'll see you then.